Last week, a gaming website called Shack News sat down with several members of Rockstar's team regarding Red Dead Online and asked them questions regarding Red Dead Online Blood Money. And a lot of us felt like those questions were probably pre-filtered. They had to most likely submit the questions to Rockstar first and foremost. And the questions themselves were, for the most part, things we already knew about. And they had kind of a softball feel to them, not exactly hard hitting. And that's been a problem that a lot of the gaming sites have had when it comes to dealing with Rockstar games. Anytime they do an interview of Rockstar, it feels like they're brown-nosing, ass-kissing, and not exactly asking questions that the majority of the Rockstar fan base would like for Rockstar to answer. So I have compiled a list of roughly 10 questions, and there is some sub-questions to some of the questions I have. And I don't expect Rockstar to answer any of these questions. However, if members of the Rockstar teams of Red Dead Online, GTA Online, their promotions, PR department, social media department, if they would like to take my questions, some of them, all of them, and respond to them in their own article or on their social medias like Twitter and Facebook on behalf of the Rockstar fan base, I would appreciate them actually answering some of these questions because they claim that they want to hear our feedback. And these questions are things that a lot of us have been inquiring about. First off, let's start with this question. Rockstar, why do you continue to milk GTA 5 when it is already one of the most successful selling video games of all time? It has made you and Take-Two billions of dollars. You have more than made your money back for GTA 5, along with GTA Online and Shark Cards. Isn't the PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions of GTA 5 good enough? Can't you simply just allow us to have a free update for that, because both the PS4 version and Xbox One versions are already backwards compatible on their successor consoles? For example, you can play a PlayStation 4 version of GTA 5 on PlayStation 5, Xbox One on Xbox Series. Instead of just making us buy the same game again that didn't look very impressive at all from the previous enhanced expanded trailer that came out a few weeks ago, why not simply just give us a free enhancement upgrade for our versions on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series? That would be a good PR move in my opinion. Furthermore, by coming out with yet another edition of GTA 5 exclusively for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, what all is going to be with that version? That's something that we would like to know. Is there going to be some long-awaited story DLC for Michael, Trevor, and Franklin, or maybe completely new characters? And how about new locations? Expanded is part of the name, right? Maybe we actually get to go to North Yankton and do some free roaming up there. Maybe there's some unfinished business for Michael and Trevor. Liberty City would be awesome as a location. I know that's a little far-fetched for us to get San Fierro and Las Venturas, even though those are supposed to be part of San Andreas at the same time. I really think that it's not necessary for you to milk GTA 5 any further than you already have. And the fact that the majority of the GTA community has expressed displeasure towards the latest trailer for GTA 5 Enhanced Expanded Milk Edition, dislike bombing it, read the comments, read the tweets, read everything you're getting feedback-wise from the community, and you'll see that even though a lot of us enjoyed the past 8 years in GTA 5, a lot of us really just want to move on to GTA 6, and if you wish to keep GTA Online going, that's totally fine, but is there really a need to milk GTA 5 once again? My next question revolves around GTA 4. It's been over 10 years since GTA 4 came out, yet why have we not gotten a remastered version of GTA 4 along with the 2 episodes of Liberty Cities, such as Battle of Gaytoni as well as Lost and Damned packaged into one game? And that would also be a great opportunity, Rockstar, for you to make Liberty City a new expansion for GTA Online. I find it fascinating that you keep milking out GTA 5 over and over and over again, yet you've kind of neglected GTA 4. You've just left it on the shelf to collect dust when you could be taking full advantage of GTA 4 and upgrade it to the most advanced Rage engine or similar to GTA 5's Rage engine and make it compatible and put copies of GTA 4 on the shelves as well, or for download, and make GTA 4 Enhanced Expanded Edition, Remastered Edition available for PS4, Xbox One, as well as PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. That's something I think would excite the fan base a lot more than GTA 5 again. Speaking of GTA, I do promise there's other games in the Rockstar franchise I have questions for, but we're sticking with GTA for the moment. This is a question a lot of people have been asking, and it's become a meme, obviously. But still, it's worth asking, Rockstar. Is GTA 6 ever happening? Did Dan Houser actually leave a rough draft of a script before he left Rockstar? You had a pretty short window in between GTA 4 and GTA 5 compared to the window between GTA 5 and GTA 6 production-wise. And yet, no information has officially came out. Nothing at all regarding a teaser trailer at all. And meanwhile, once again, you continue to milk GTA 5 and GTA Online with no information, no word about whether or not a GTA 6 is ever going to happen. Could you at least give us a straight answer and say, hey, GTA 6 is happening, it's going to happen, this is the ballpark when it should be out somewhere in like the mid-2020s or 2030s? It would be nice, Rockstar, if you just gave us a little bit of information, some nuggets, some crumbs, please, regarding GTA 6, if it actually is in development. Other than GTA and Red Dead, this is the next question I have. Is there any other IPs that might be in the works? Like Bully 2, LA Noire sequel prequel, Max Payne 4, maybe a new Midnight Club? Now, you don't have to answer this question specifically, Rockstar, but it would be awesome if we started getting more games from Rockstar Games. There was a time we got tons of Rockstar games back in the 2000s, not just GTAs. We got Manhunts, we got The Bully, which I've been wanting a sequel of or a remake of for a very long time now. We got The Warriors. We got so many other games, including Table Tennis and Midnight Club LA, that the fan base would kind of like you to come out with something other than GTA and Red Dead. So, is there any other game in development right now besides GTA Red Dead? All you gotta do is simply say yes or no to that question. Because you guys have like a big development studio, one of the largest in the world, with like satellite locations everywhere from Scotland to California and a few other places too. And it's hard to fathom that all those subsidiaries of Rockstar Games are only working on one game, GTA Online, or Red Dead Online, with, 6, 7, maybe 8 people involved with Red Dead Online, it seems. The point is, a lot of us would like to see a completely different IP, or at the very least, a sequel, prequel to a pre-existing Rockstar Games franchise, like Bully, LA Noire, Max Payne, Midnight Club, etc. The next question is, will we ever see a remake of Red Dead Redemption 1? See, I promised we weren't just going to talk about GTA. And as a huge Red Dead fan, I would love a remake of Red Dead Redemption 1, as well as Undead Nightmare, with a Mexico expansion for Red Dead Online. A lot of players that have played Red Dead Redemption 2 have not had the opportunity to enjoy Red Dead Redemption 1 because of the port limitations that it has. The way it was made, there were issues with it that made it difficult to be ported over. So unless you have like an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3, or if you're lucky enough to be able to backwards compatible it to Xbox One or Xbox Series, you really can't play Red Dead Redemption 1. Yeah, you can play it on PlayStation Now, but PlayStation Now sucks. It would just be awesome if we had an updated version of Red Dead Redemption as a complement to Red Dead Redemption 2. Same story, same voice actors. I know that Hagen passed away. He was the voice actor of Landon Ricketts, but they could just use his audio and just use it for the remake. I just want to see an updated version of Red Dead Redemption, and I think that the Red Dead franchise would benefit greatly from it. And everyone that's come into Red Dead Redemption 2, I think you would thoroughly enjoy playing Red Dead Redemption, especially if the graphics were updated and some improvements were made as well. where it looked on par with Red Dead Redemption 2 graphically and performance-wise. So that's definitely a question a lot of us have been asking over the years. The next question I have is, will you ever be more interactive and transparent with your Red Dead GTA communities? A lot of other development studios are a lot better at the social medias than you are, and they have these things for their online live service multiplayer games called roadmaps. Ever heard of them? It would be nice if you actually put out roadmaps for GTA and Red Dead Online. That would definitely help the fan base, especially in these uncertain times regarding Red Dead Online, where a lot of us are worried about the future of Red Dead Online. Obviously, GTA Online's doing just fine for you all, making plenty of money with the shark cards. Red Dead Online's probably got a smaller team. I know I made a joke about that, but it feels that way. So yeah, how about doing a better job, Rockstar, trying to be a little bit more transparent with us, communicate better with the fan bases of GTA, Red Dead, and other Rockstar games, and consider, Rockstar, please, implementing roadmaps. You don't have to tell us exactly what's coming, the exact name of the update or what's going to be in the updates or the exact day the update's coming out. I realize it doesn't work that way for you guys, but you could give us a ballpark, say, hey, coming up in November, December, updates to GTA and Red Dead. Then we're going to have spring updates, and we're going to have summer updates in 2022. You get the idea. Next question actually ties into what we were just talking about. Rockstar, do you actually take feedback into serious consideration, such as nerfing, buffing, rebalancing vehicles in GTA, going after those that are responsible for god moding and orb spamming? Have you considered the idea of giving us dedicated servers for GTA Online and Red Dead Online, since the peer-to-peer system isn't exactly safe for Rockstar? Are the player bases of Red Dead and GTA, especially on PC? That's something I really want to know, because you ask us all the time, hey, we want your feedback. We want to hear from you. Here's links to the GTA feedback. Here's links to the Red Dead feedback. And people leave you feedback all the time, whether it's in videos, or comment section, or tweets, or they go through the trouble of feedbacking you. In the early days of GTA Online, there used to be an email. And by the way, this is the 8-year anniversary of GTA Online. I thought I would just mention that in passing. And at the time, I was really excited about the future of GTA Online. And before I started my gaming channel in March of 2014, I used to email my ideas to Rockstar Games. And I have to wonder, did anybody actually read those emails that we sent to you? Is anybody actually bothering to read the feedback that we're sending you regarding GTA and Red Dead Online? The things we like, the things we don't like. Is it an algorithm based, whereas if people are complaining about the orb spamming or the orbital cannon, is that at the top of the list, underneath the broomstick, or above the broomstick? And other things that we want in both games, like properties, new roles for Red Dead Online. I'm curious about the feedback. Do you actually take that into serious consideration? And if so, when can we see a lot of the concerns and issues and wants and hopes and dreams that the fan bases of GTA and Red Dead have for both games actually realized in the foreseeable future? So yes, do you actually care about our feedback, Rockstar? Simple answer for that one, I guess, is yes or no. Circling back to GTA really quick, there have been rumors for the past few months, from Kotaku to most recently, it being raided in Korea allegedly, that we're getting a Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition. Is this true, Rockstar? Are we getting the GTA Trilogy, which is supposed to be GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas? It's allegedly being made by the Rockstar studio in Australia. I think it's Rockstar Games Dundee. And are we going to get a trailer for that soon? Is it coming out anytime soon, around the 20th anniversary of GTA 3, which is coming up later in October? Is there any truth regarding the GTA Trilogy? And if so, is there any plans to do a remake for Bully, or like I mentioned a moment ago, Red Dead Redemption, or other Rockstar games down the road? And speaking of Rockstar Studios, this is a question I've always been curious about. Could you give us like a basic idea in regards to what each Rockstar studio does around the world? And besides GTA Online, how many new games are currently being worked on? I know this kind of circles back to a previous question. We're doing a lot of circle jerking here, but I'm generally curious because I'm a Rockstar Games fan. And I know that there's so many different Rockstar studios. The two big ones up in Scotland, like Rockstar North and Rockstar San Diego in California. There's at least one in Canada still. There's a few in the UK. There's one in Australia. And there's a few more elsewhere throughout the world. And I'm just generally curious, without saying too much. You don't have to go into detail. Just give us like kind of like the basics regarding what each studio's responsibilities are, and maybe how they fit into like the larger, bigger picture when it comes to Rockstar games. I realize you guys like secrecy, and that's totally fine. Once again, I'm not asking you to reveal anything damning like the next game that you're working on. But it would be cool if we just had an idea of like, okay, well, this studio basically does this. This studio does that. It would just be interesting. Once again, I'm not really expecting answers from any of these questions from Rockstar, but at the same time, if somebody at Rockstar takes the time to answer some of these questions, or perhaps even all of them, on behalf of the Rockstar fan base, I would very much appreciate it. Which leads us to our 10th and final question. It is revolving around Red Dead Online. I saved this for the very end, so I definitely want an answer to this, Rockstar. Does Rockstar have big plans still for Red Dead Online? Will Red Dead Online continue to receive new content beyond 2022? Properties, new roles, ability to rob and free roam, like train robberies, bank tellers, robbing NPCs, wagons, stagecoaches, horses. Are we getting new horses in the future, along with additional stable stalls, the ability to finally sell horses, new weapons, perhaps a conclusion to the Land of Opportunity story, along with the additions of the Rockstar editor and Rockstar creator to Red Dead Online. And once again, we would very much like some expansions down the road. I don't feel like it's going to happen any soon because there's definitely other content Rockstar could make for Red Dead Online. But maybe eventually we finally get to go to Nuevo Paraíso, Mexico. Guarma expansion would be nice. Or at the very least, use Guarma for PvP modes. That would be cool. Or is Rockstar planning on sunsetting Red Dead Online? In other words, no longer updating Red Dead Online with content after, let's just say, 2021 is over. I just would like to know about the future and the state of Red Dead Online in Rockstar's opinion. Does it still have a bright future? Are you going to still continue updating it with content? Because I would like to believe that the past year, the bug and everything else going on in the world limited your abilities when it came to making content for Red Dead Online, which is why we got nothing more than a bounty expansion last December, the Blood Money update, which, let's just be honest, Rockstar, for the most part, it disappointed the fan base. It left a lot to be desired. Is the December update going to be a huge turnaround for Red Dead Online, or is it going to be just another expansion, like a Trader expansion, a Moonshine expansion, Naturalist expansion? And is that the way you're going to go forward with Red Dead Online, just small, mediocre updates along the way going into 2022 and perhaps into 2023 as the Red Dead Online community continue to decline, getting smaller and smaller and smaller with each passing disappointing update? So those are the questions that I asked to Rockstar. I honestly don't know if anybody at Rockstar is going to take the time to actually bother answering any of my questions. Most likely not. But as a lifelong Rockstar Games fan, I've been playing since the very beginning when it comes to GTA. The original top-down GTA on PlayStation, GTA 2 on PC, along with GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Bully, along with Liberty City Stories on the PSP, Red Dead Redemption 1, GTA 4, GTA 5, obviously, along with GTA Online, which, you know, once again, 8-year anniversary starting today. And I was playing that since the launch when we had the Soul Wax racing tutorial freeze. That was annoying. And I'm also a huge fan of Red Dead, as I mentioned, along with Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Online, and its 3-year anniversary is coming up in November 2018. And so that's been, 3 years? Rockstar, 3 years for Red Dead Online soon. And you can see why a lot of the fan base of Red Dead Online is concerned, because it's been almost 3 years. And at this time period, GTA Online had way more content in a 3-year period. They finally had heists. They had Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 and 2, and I believe Lowriders had already gone out by the time, or around the time of the 3-year anniversary of GTA Online. So, you know, if you put them side by side, Red Dead Online and GTA Online has way more content in a 3-year period as opposed to Red Dead Online's 3-year period. And 8 years later, GTA Online, as of today, has a ton of content. And there are other games I also enjoyed playing later on in life. I played through L.A. Noire, loved it, as well as Red Dead Revolver. I liked Warriors for the most part. The throwing mechanics could have been better. Chinatown Wars, I have that on my iPhone. It's a fun game to play. It's kind of like a top-down 3D vibe to it. And I bought so many copies of GTA 5, just like most of you have, like 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. A friend of mine got me a gift for GTA 5 on PC. Red Dead Redemption 2 copies, one for PS4, Xbox One, PC. And the consoles, how many consoles have I played Rockstar games on? The OG PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PC, several PCs by the way, Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, PSP, PS5, Xbox Series X, and of course, like I mentioned, a few games on my iPhone as well. We got GTA 3 over there, along with GTA Chinatown Wars. I think it's pretty obvious I like Rockstar games, and a few of their games I've been playing for at least a couple of years. But anyways, Rockstar, we just want you to actually answer these more hardball questions that the fan base has been asking for numerous years. And these are not questions I originally came up with. These are questions that I've had, that a lot of people in the GTA and Red Dead Online communities have had for many years now. And it would be nice, Rockstar, if you actually took the time, instead of answering the softball questions that the gaming sites ask you, that you actually came to us directly, the fan base, and answered these questions straight to us, because you have the power to do so through your Twitter, your Facebook, as well as your YouTube channel to answer these questions. And of course, your website, rockstargames.com, with a news article. Early on in GTA Online, you actually did that. You had an Ask and Answered series where you actually answered questions that we had many years ago in the early days of GTA Online. It would be nice if we had that once again. So that's what we're asking, Rockstar. I don't expect you, once again, to answer all these questions. It would be nice if you could. Some of them you probably can't, like my question regarding the different functions of the Rockstar Studios worldwide. It was just a question I thought would be kind of cool to ask. But some of the other questions, I'm sure a lot of you want Rockstar to answer as well. We're just not happy at the moment with the current state of Rockstar Games. From the GTA 5 Milked Edition, the disappointment in that, Red Dead Online being neglected, issues in GTA Online not being addressed and fixed. A lot of things in that game need to be either nerfed or buffed, completely rebalanced. God moders and orb spammers need to be done away with. And the lack of new Rockstar games for quite a while now. Red Dead Redemption 2 is almost 3 years old. And there was a time when we were getting more Rockstar games, like back in the 2000s. We're not expecting you to be like Ubisoft, where you're pumping out a new game every 2 years. But what about every 3 or 4 years, Rockstar? That would be awesome. And going back to other IPs that the fan base happens to enjoy, such as Bully, Midnight Club, LA Noire, Max Payne. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but at the same time, a completely new IP would be awesome as well. And yes, Rockstar Take-Two, you've made a lot of money off of GTA Online and some money off of Red Dead Online. How about doing right by your communities and consider investing money as well as employees and staff into dedicated server farms for GTA Online? That would be nice as well. Anyways, those are my questions for Rockstar Games regarding GTA, Red Dead Online, and I guess other games within the Rockstar Games franchise. I am curious now about what questions you would like to ask Rockstar. Maybe it's a question I asked, or maybe you have your own different question that I didn't come up with in my list of questions to Rockstar Games. What questions would you, yes, you, like to ask Rockstar Games? You never know. Maybe Rockstar will find this video and they'll actually answer the questions, and they might look through the comments section and read what you have to say regarding questions that you and I happen to have for them. Feel free and leave your questions for Rockstar Games below in the comments section.